Hello there, this is producer Paul again with another episode of pre-recorded content that Julien, our regular host, managed to pick up at WWDVC. This week though, we're focusing on one interview in particular, and that's with the founder and creator of Data Vault, Dan Linstedt, who had a chance to sit down with Julien at the event to basically have a talk about how things are going, what had been announced, and what he was really looking forward to coming up. So sit down, enjoy the interview. You can also catch this interview in video form on our YouTube channel, and of course you can pop along to the DVIC platform, which you can download now from your app store and get involved with the conversation around Dan, what he sees in the future, and how Julien found the entire trip as a whole. Until then, enjoy this interview.
Okay, all right, we're here at WWDVC with the founder of Data Vault himself, Dan Linstedt.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm tired, but great.
I bet you are. So how's the event been for you?
Oh, it's been awesome. I mean, first time we reached numbers at 150 people. We've been averaging 122, but what's even better is everyone comes back since they love the networking, they love the one track. The presentations this year, off the chain.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Or
mean,
as the kids say, off the chisane, right?
correct. I mean, everyone who I've spoken to has commented on the community that this conference has created. So I think that's a credit to you. And so let's talk about some of the highlights. CJ yesterday was amazing.
Yeah, and in case you don't know, CJ Date, he's famous for Cod and Date, right? He worked with Ted Cod. So,
Yeah.
you know, how do you get any higher than that? I don't know. But we loved it, and we're asking him politely to come back next year and give a talk on nulls. So we'll see if that, and that's NULL for you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, we hope that pans out.
No, fantastic. So what other highlights from the event for you?
Well, I think there was the guy from Roche, Camille, today
Yeah.
talking about methodology.
Yeah.
And he showed some stats that were astounding. I mean, how he put up the charts and mapped out in DB2 methodology, this piece maps out to P2P, this piece to Six Sigma.
Yeah.
That was just eye-opening.
No,
I mean, I think everybody got a breath of fresh air on that one.
Well, and speaking of them, I guess that leads to the data mesh question. I think Cindy's presentation on data mesh was amazing, just to show the alignment. Did you kind of know that alignment was there?
I did. I have to admit, I've been working on it for a long time.
Yeah.
The Data Vault has a bunch of foundational principles in it.
Yeah.
So it's no surprise when you stand on the shoulders of giants and innovate. Of course, you're going to align, right? There's no doubt about it. But to be honest, I tasked Cindy, as I told the whole conference,
Yeah.
right? So full disclosure, I tasked her last year to learn data mesh in depth.
Yeah.
And then to map it. That was her challenge, to map it to Data Vault.
Yeah.
And she came up with all of that on her own. So, you know, again, it was a beautiful summary presentation of here is Data Vault and here is Data Mesh and here's how the two align together. You don't do one or the other. That's the message, folks. Hello. And by the way, Zemek herself says you can't implement. The implementation is outside her wheelhouse. That's what she says, right? And then to have Roche last year present, Paul Rank from Roche came in and said, we have data mesh, and Roche is huge, you know, and you heard it again from Camille, 400 teams or 400 people or whatever it is globally. Yeah. They're using Data Vault to implement it. They had Zemek in for consulting on data mesh, and every time they asked her, how do you build it? She said, it's out of my wheelhouse. And so what they did was they brought a Data Vault, they married it to data mesh, and they're working through issues like everybody,
of course,
but it's successful.
Because I mean, this is not easy stuff, so you would expect that. But I mean, you know, from a simple perspective, I can't imagine any other way to achieve mesh without Data Vault. So
that's what I think, and I don't want to toot my own horn because, to be honest, there may be something out there, but we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, when you see something built and you start seeing a success, well, it's clear that's one of the possibilities that can be used.
Yeah.
And so it may not be the only one in 5 years or 3 years, but for today, people are achieving success with Data Vault into the data mesh. So why not give it a go? Right?
No, absolutely. I mean, personally, for me, it's been an amazing event. I just got to have lunch with Bill Inman, so that was pretty cool. So
There you go.
yeah.
I mean,
And I know you and he and Kent are telling some more stories a little bit later.
oh yeah, absolutely. That's going to happen. Bill has a lot more stories than I do, and I love to tell stories of my own as well.
Yeah.
But I've been working with Bill so long. I guess I'm immune to the Bill Inman's here effect. But I love the guy, and that's why he's here. He is my mentor. Just to be clear, he's one of my mentors. Date is one of my mentors, and he didn't know it till lately. But he did help me along the way. By the way, he did have several discussions with me a couple of years ago when I met him.
Yeah.
But this is the community that you feel here.
Yeah.
I always tell everyone, and you've heard this, me announce it. This is one of the reasons why I like to run the conference, because I learn too. We all help each other.
Absolutely.
And we all move forward faster if we help each other. If we're sitting there holding on to our secrets, what good is it? If we're tooting our own horns like I just did a minute ago, right? What good is it if we go to a conference and hear a speaker go, well, this is what we did and we succeeded, and here are the metrics of the success. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how did you do that?
You don't learn anything.
You don't learn anything. It's like, good for you. Now, what do I do with that?
Yeah.
And some of those speakers are very, very good, and they've been asked to present that way. So I can't fault the speaker for it, of course. But I don't like the conference layout for that, right?
Yeah.
And so that's not what this conference is about. This conference is about, and you've heard this, I asked the presenters, and I'm looking at you guys because I want you to present next year if you've got a story. It's a journey. The presenters they come here to present what they're doing now, warts and all, the challenges they faced that they've succeeded with, plus the challenges they're currently dealing with they haven't solved.
Absolutely.
We want the real story, right? And chances are that someone in this room has either faced the problem and has an answer, or is facing a problem too, and you can sit down and collaborate over what a solution might look like.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's just powerful to me.
For sure.
I had a story here, and I'll just tell this one.
Absolutely.
We'll get back to your questions.
No, that's fine.
But I've heard several times over several conferences of these meetings where a speaker will get done and say, we had this challenge, and then somebody walked up out of the audience, and 5 minutes later they had an answer. Like it happened this time.
Yeah.
I've been dealing with this for 6 months, and this other guy came up and handed me this stuff, and it works. It's going to solve my problem. I'm going to go home and build it, right?
I heard that story too.
We get that here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's the magic.
There was an example when we're having breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. So we announced the DVIC going global.
Yeah.
And obviously the affiliation with you guys and sharing content and all those sorts of things. So this audience will get to see this, but we're trying to make everyone get these snippets and get all of this stuff. So thank you for everything you've done and for being part of that and helping us grow a network that gets more people into data vault.
Absolutely. Anything we can do to enable each other, grow the network, and partner up. I mean, I said it a minute ago. We do more, better together.
Absolutely.
Right? And divided we fall, right? So united we stand, divided we fall. Same with the DVIC. So get involved. If you're in Data Vault, go, and you're in the region, get involved in DVIC. If you're worldwide, get involved in DVIC. We work with them, they work with us, we share content. You're going to get it from all channels.
Well, and we did tell the conference audience, to make it clear.
Yeah.
The view is, someone has questions around the standards.
Yeah.
If they want an official answer, then your forums are exactly the place to go.
Absolutely.
And the DVIC is here to share these types of bits of content and help you to convince a business user. So provide case studies and all of those sorts of things. So hopefully that partnership, and we're going to partner with DVNorg as well, Data Vault
North American User Group.
There you go. Thank you. There's a network of communities, I think, coming together, which is pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Mine too. Thank you.
Okay.
We want to thank Dan for sitting down with Julien and having a great catch-up, talking about something that they're both incredibly passionate about. Data Vault is a community that's got so much passion and drive and intelligence buried deep within how it works and the people that operate with it. So it's always amazing to see two like minds meet to sit down and converse about things. If you want to see more content around Data Vault, you can check out things like our YouTube page or our LinkedIn page. You already know how to access the podcast. That's what you're doing now. And of course, don't forget to download the DVIC app. It's right there on your app store, completely free. Come and join the conversation in a dedicated Data Vault Innovators community. We'll catch you there.